good morning. Welcome to another edition of Yes, the Panthers Report, as we talk all things Florida Tech athletics. And joining me right now here on a very rainy Tuesday morning is a very hot coach in the world of collegiate lacrosse. Yes, he's the Panthers lacrosse coach, Brad MacArthur, and his team has won 7 in a row. Coach, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Do you like that? The 7 in a row, and especially 9-2, 4-0 in conference. Do you like hearing those words?
Well, I mean, they're better what could be coming out otherwise. So, be honest with you, we're just worried about the last one we played and then the one going forward. So, 7 in a row always helps. 4-0. I mean, we're just, when we won on Saturday, we celebrated to midnight. And we always tell the boys when you wake up the next morning, flip the page, turn to the next opponent. So,
okay, let's go there then. Last Saturday, St. Leo, like you're saying, you won 16-8. Yeah. What did you see in that victory for the Panthers?
Well, St. Leo's probably been one of the tougher. I mean, the Sunshine Conference itself is a tough conference, but they're one of those teams. For some reason, they're a little bit pesky, and they've given us some issues over the years. We're built differently than they are, so they're a little bit smaller and faster, more agile type, and they don't play. They play a very unique style of offense compared to the rest of the teams in the conference. So, we do what we've done really. We stuck to our game plan, and we concentrate more on what we're able to do, dictating the pace with good 6-on-6 defense, and be able to turn the game into a bit of a track meet and transition. So getting up and down the field is important to us. And, first quarter was close. Second quarter, we started to pull away. And, by the time the fourth quarter rolled around, I think we won that quarter 4-2. And, it was just a matter of, being able to close that game out and having a quality win.
You talk about contrast of teams. Did you want to build a more bigger physical team then? Is that your vision as a Panthers squad?
Bigger? I mean, that kind of – I control a little bit about that when we're recruiting, but I also don't control, when the kids are reaching out to us and I'd say we find them. When they find us and give us a reason to go watch them, we don't control that on the other side of things. So we're a bit bigger than some of the teams that we've faced, but we're big proponents of being in the weight room. We put a lot of pressure on our, strength and performance coaches to help us. I mean, we're minimum 3 days a week in there from August to May. And, we lean on our guys to make sure that extra work is done. I think we're smart enough to take some rehabilitation days where they can rest and make sure those days in the weight room are meaningful. So when we go out there, I mean, we've got a bunch of middies that are 6'3", 6'4" plus. Not a lot of other teams have that, and it kind of shows sometimes. But there's some downside to that too when you're playing against maybe, like I said, smaller, quicker, more agile guys. But we have a really good mix, and we've got a great core of defensive middies who have a different strength in terms of their athleticism. So,
all right.
Being able to adapt is something we've been able to identify.
We're here for the Panthers Report with head lacrosse coach Brad MacArthur. He's doing a great job this season, and I say that from the standpoint, we're here in the stretch run. Here's your schedule, and I think Coach knows this, but this is for all the Panthers fans. Yeah, you're going to host Florida Southern College Wednesday. Then you have Palm Beach Atlantic on Saturday, then the big one against Tampa to finish up the season, 4/15. Coach, we'll start with the game Wednesday. What are your thoughts on Florida Southern then?
Well, probably a bit of an underrated team. They started the season in a bit of a slump. It took a while to get their first win, but they're young, they're building. Coach Ward's always kind of got them into a pretty decent rhythm in terms of their organization, how to play defense. They have one of the best face-off guys in Division II lacrosse, so that's something we need to account for. And then second, and pretty large factor will be what the weather looks like here on Wednesday night. Wayne, for the way we want to play, rain doesn't have too much of a factor, but wind, that kind of stuff, that can weigh on you a little bit. But I expect they'll come out ready to go. They're fighting for a playoff spot. We're fighting to stay at the top of the conference. So, I mean, it's a playoff game for both of us.
Okay, then, since it is raining like crazy, if you get those conditions this time of year, do you switch up the strategy? And probably both teams. Do you have to switch up the strategy for those conditions?
Not necessarily the strategy. I think there's some fundamentals you need to be very wary of. The 60 to 80 foot passes that you might make regularly in practice need to probably be a 20 to 40 foot, pass. You're probably carrying the ball a little bit more individually than, the more you put it in the air when it's wet, the more you increase the probability of a turnover. So it's something you need to be careful of.
Do you change cleats like they do in football, or do you just keep going so you're like, no, we're doing this, adapt, let's go. Is that what you tell the team?
Well, I mean, we're on a turf field. So, I mean, my football is limited to what I saw in high school. I mean, I wasn't a big change of cleat person. I've never been a big change of cleat person. So we're okay. I mean, we know what's coming at us. We'll be well in and dialed. I mean, we're at Florida Tech. We get weather reports coming from some of the smartest people in the land. And we likely get them before the public does. So it's something that we can see. We have kids on the team who are well adjusted when it comes to that kind of stuff. So rain, those kind of factors just don't phase the type of kids we recruit. To them, it's just wet. And that's really all it is.
I understand. All right. You have those 3 games left. Is it one game at a time? Are you looking ahead to the playoffs? How are you trying to look at it, Coach?
No, it has to. I mean, it has to be one game at a time. There's no other way to function that way. I mean, Tampa's been brought up to us many times, but like I said, Florida Southern's fighting to get in the playoffs. PBA, Saturday, depending on what they do Wednesday, I mean, that could be their last chance at the playoffs.
Yeah.
And we've been on both ends of the spectrum. So we know what they're bringing, and we know that we've when we were in their shoes, we've stayed close. We've won some games. We've surprised some teams. So, and I don't think we take anyone for granted. Most of my team has been through the ups and the downs of winning and losing seasons. And they see and they know, like I said, we were on the end of these ones. And our guys really, they've got themselves composed. They understand what's at stake. And they just don't take other teams for granted. We were one of those teams that were taken for granted in years past. So they know what's coming.
Okay, then. What are you excited about this team right now? Especially you're winning all these games. I know you still have bigger accomplishments you want to get there. But what do you like about the team right now?
The team itself, I mean, we're on a roll, but we're competitive with all different styles of teams. We're well adjusted. Our defense has been playing exceptionally well, but our offense has come alive the last 2 games, putting up goals, and we're only averaging maybe 10.5 goals prior to the last few games where we put up 20, 16, and 11. And, a lot of people get caught up in the math of what your efficiencies look like and, the data analytics for that. And we do to a degree, but at the end of the day, this game is built on scoring 1 more goal than the other team. So we win 4-3. Probably won't hear me complaining too much. We'll have lots of things to adjust. What means we played good defense, struggled on offense. But what if we're playing the number 1 team in the nation defensively? Which consequently, Tampa coming in next Wednesday is one of the best team defenses that we'll see all year. So, there's lots of things that I could probably point to. But the future with these guys, the buy-in that they've had and the commitment to help grow lacrosse larger in Brevard County, it's all been off floor for us, to be honest with you. I'm excited about the future of what lacrosse could look like in the county by us having success.
Great answer. All right, then. You're kind of hinting at this, but all right, 3 games to go, then your conference tournament. What do you guys need to improve on? Because I know you feel like, all right, we can get better. How can your team get better, though?
Just there's some consistency issues between the lines that we need to take care of the ball a little bit better. I'm going to give you the Wheel of Fortune answers. You know how they give you the NSDLR and a vowel now, and then you got to pick some. I'm going to give you those. So everybody wants to reduce turnover, get better on offense, and be steady on defense and have good goaltending. So there's my wheel of fortune. I'd like to create a little bit more competition between the lines on our face-offs. Our guys have been doing well. Our philosophy on face-offs is probably a little bit different than a lot of teams. We care about winning and losing them, but we care about more how we win or how we lose those, whether they're in transition, whether it's a compete 50-50 face-off, or whether we're forcing them back to their net just to clear it. And those are three little games within themselves. So that's an area where we're focused on looking at. It's not an impetus to us. It's not something that we, you can win or lose, but it's something where we definitely have practiced last year.
Is this one of those things as a coach, you've done this for a while now, okay, or we're doing well, but you're envisioning postseason play, different types of scenarios. Is that how you kind of look at it? You're just trying to get your players in the best possible opportunity.
Yes. And best answer for this, we've been in the playoffs since the start of the year. I mean,
Okay.
we were not one of those teams that were ranked coming into the season, right? If you recall, we weren't even in the top 20. And then we lost to Tampa at the start, beat Wingate here at home, number 4. And all of a sudden we shoot from unranked to number 9 in the nation, right? With a 1-1 record. And then we went up to North Greenville and we lost that game. And credit to them, they took it to us. So from that point on, with 2 losses, you're kind of in playoff mode, because 3 and 4 losses all of a sudden become, hey, you got to win the conference just to get in the tournament.
Yeah.
So the way I've been brought up, the way that I've been coached, has always been to play playoff style lacrosse. And that's where, mistakes are magnified. Accountability level is high. We don't give these guys a pass. If they throw a ball away in practice, there's consequences to it. I don't just shake my head and say, well, thanks for trying to practice. It's not the way we function. You throw a ball away in practice, that means the other team has the clock. And it means they have the ball. And the more times they have it, the chances are, they're going to improve their scoring percentage, which is unacceptable. So we kind of have that philosophy where we're going to go out, we're going to compete, and we're going to hold ourselves accountable in practice. And some of the guys have risen, some have struggled through it, but have really latched on to the focus, and they've started to get better through it. So we've pulled everybody along with us. And now we feel like everybody from, the coaching staff to the last player on our roster is all kind of rowing in the same direction.
Very well said. Here's the schedule one more time before we let Coach go. Yeah, the Panthers, they're going to host Florida Southern College Wednesday night at home. Then this weekend, they're at Palm Beach Atlantic. And then to end the regular season, Senior Day, yes, Tampa on 4/15, which I think is still tax day. I'm confused now. Coach,
So.
I think he's thinking as well. Coach, good luck moving forward, and I hope I get you on again in the postseason, all right?
I appreciate it. Thanks for having us on.